Holy crap! The only adjective I can think to describe this is murderous. I don't understand why she only has the smirk and not like this deranged, gleeful, like creepy face on her. Greetings and salutations, my name is Deltran, doing builds for Lyn, Brave Lady, off of the Choose Your Legends banner, the Brave Heroes banner. You and I are going to go over her matchups, like there's many that aren't good, and a couple of build options for her, but first let's get her digits. So she has a good base stat line of 149. We're still looking for 42 and 35 and 32, and when we say it that way, there's only one stat here that makes the cut. 35 speed. 35 speed's wonderful. Otherwise, that defense is abysmal. Resistance, hey, that's approaching good. I am starting to think that maybe I should have my own classification for what counts as a good resistance. Unfortunately, 28 with that 35 hit points isn't going to save you from getting double tapped by some of the stronger mage builds, but you know, let's take what we can get. Overall, we do have the absolute lowest hit points out of all the archers. I was going to compare her to other mounted archers, but since she's the only mounted archer in the game, this page looked a little sparse. I didn't know what to do with it, so I decided to include all the schmucks in with it. And so, of course, we see Varian up at the top, but we can forget about him. Attack-wise, Brydelia, I included Brydelia in this too. I usually don't like including exclusive limited-time units, but this is going to be the immediate comparison. So, Brydelia is in here. She's at the very tippy top, and Lyn is very close to being pretty much on her level. It's not a big deal there. As far as speed goes, Setsuna's the only one that beats her out. And then you're sitting there with besties Cordelia and Lyn. On defense, yeah, we're next to last, and that's because Innes is around. And of course, his resistance is better than Lyn's, which is fine. And Lyn's is wonderful. Everybody else's is approaching pretty bad by one standard or another. So let's take a look at what she swings with. Malagir is a legendary bow, non-inheritable. Of course, it's effective against flying units. It gives her +3 speed, so you're looking at a 38 speed mounted archer. That's amazing. 14 might's pretty great on this for a ranged weapon. And yeah, if the foe's a magic user, you debuff them. Just the hone style buffs. Anything that is a spur, something that's added during combat, stays on them. But you know what, you could go ahead and take a look at that Celica. You could take a look at all those Blade Tome users, which people turn Celica into, and you don't have to worry about all that craziness that people stack on them. They're not going to have it whenever she goes to attack, which is nice because that means with her high resistance, she could go ahead and take her good old time and double tap them with their high speed, and we're gonna walk out of that just fine. We might even be able to do that a second time. Draconic Aura is a pretty decent skill for her to have as far as a special. Grants 30% back to attack. And Swift Sparrow, she comes built in with Swift Sparrow. That's good. That's some fodder you don't have to go hunting for. +4 attack and speed during combat, as long as they initiate. So it's not an always buff, but you know, that's okay. It's not life and death. We don't need to have it always on. Making my life difficult, she has a B and a C skill, so, you know, here's a separate slide. Her B slot is actually really, really good. Sake's Blessing, if a foe has a sword, lance, or axe, it cannot counterattack. Basically, this shuts down distant counter from everything. This is so cool! This is honestly probably the best part of Lyn, as far as I am concerned. You know, let's ignore that she's a mounted archer. This is the best part right here, guys. Sake's Blessing. Great stuff. Although, you know, it has some stiff competition from the other skills that she has, including Attack Smoke 3. Woohoo! That's wonderful. She hits the enemy, and all the enemy's buddies have a -7 attack. At least all the buddies within 2 spaces. So, and if that enemy had real friends, they would all be within 2 spaces. If that enemy is a loser, then, well, you know, he doesn't have any friends to hurt. So let's just kill him faster, get him out of his misery, and move on. With our lives, not his, because he's dead. So these skills are quite amazing. I love it. One thing to mention is that Sakei's Blessing cannot be inherited. It is very locked to Lyn, which is good, I think, because it's not that crucial of a skill, but it is something that if it was available everywhere, I do think that it would just be too much to say, oh, hey, we have like these handful of units to have distant counter, and we have this stuff that you could do with them. Oh, wait, no, never mind. Everybody can negate that if they want to. And it would just... I just think it's a great game design that they did not make this available to everybody. Plus, it makes it so that this unit that was picked by the community really has some good staying power. And, I don't know, that's nice to see in a world where every hero is basically a bag of art and numbers that you get to configure. Let's take a look at the obituaries 102, 1, and 61. 28 and 22 and 114 whenever she's being attacked. If you give her a hone and a goad, horsies of course, 154, 2, and 8, I mean, I don't understand this, guys. I don't know how to represent showing you who she kills. So you know what? Here, just take a picture of a kitten that I got to hold some time ago. Now this cat lives with me. I shouldn't have held it. Shouldn't have held it. As far as people who actually kill us, well, Setsuna's there. She's a problem. No one runs Setsuna with her assassin's bow, so this is probably a moot point. But if you do see her in PvE, know that, yeah, you better really just hit her hard. Otherwise, there's a fistful of units that do take care of us whenever we are being attacked. And it's funny because with that crappy defense, you'd think there'd be a lot more people, but no, that high speed saves are bacon so bad. That's why people like Alphonse are here, and that's why there are brave weapon users here. People who weren't going to get more than one big hit on us anyway. Those are the people that we are going to be afraid of. So now is Alphonse's time to shine! You're a counter to the strongest unit in the meta, boy. You better get trained up. You know, get to actually 3 stars or something. Mine's still 3 stars. Anyway, Lyn is so fun. She was fun to level. She is fun to put into different teams. She fits well, and it's funny because you're like, oh, well, it's just the Bridelia. And you know what? Whenever I started taking her into PvP arena, I had that thought too. I'm like, oh, I've already done this. This isn't anything new. Why did I waste my free pool on this? Well, there's 2 good reasons why you'd waste your free pool on this. One is so you could avoid pulling colorless during this banner. Yeah. Ugh. Sorry. That alone was worth the price of admission. But secondly, and don't tell me that I'm wrong. You know I'm right there. But secondly, she gives you so many extra options in PvP Arena. The first PvP match I went through wasn't special, didn't notice any difference. Second one, I bumped into a Hector, and I had a team comp like the one I have on the screen right now. I didn't realize that I didn't have an immediate Hector counter. I usually bring along Ike just for that purpose. Ike does nothing more than kill Hector and bait Julia's or Nunu's that happen to be around. And if there's more than one of those threats, I have a problem. Well, Lyn took care of this for me. She was wonderful. I actually had an answer to Hector that would work outside of Horsey Emblem. It's amazing. I was just so excited to think that maybe... And I love Ike. I'm a big fan of Ike. Ike. But it would be so nice to be able to worry about having an arena team that didn't have Ike in it. So, and it's not like that's my only Hector counter, but Ike has a lot of good combinations of strength with the distant counter, and he has decent defense. Well, mine has okay defense. He has life and death on him. But regardless, he had everything going for him, but the only thing I reserved him for was frickin' Hector. Well, that's not the case anymore. I could either bring Ike and use Ike, or I could not bring Ike and use someone else. Which is pretty exciting because, you know, after multiple seasons in a row with the same units, it's strange, but it almost feels like everything just blurs together, you know? up to 20, back down to 19, up to 20, back down to 19. That's my life now. But now it can be a little more exciting with this new Lyn, so that's pretty cool. And, you know, coupling her in a Horse Emblem team with Reinhardt, and anyone else you want to put with it, really, it's amazing. It's just so much fun. And the other problem I had with Lyn at first is I was looking at this, and, you know, out of the box, she's fine. 100 kills in vanilla? Whoa! That's awesome! You don't have to do anything to Lyn for her to be useful. But if you do give her that plus 10 buff from a Fortify, sorry, not Fortify, Hone. You can give her Fortify too if you want. Don't expect her to take a hit from melee. But if you give her a Hone Horsies and a Goad Horsies, that plus 10, the number is amazing. And at first I was like, well, of course, if you give any a plus 10, they're going to dominate. First of all, that's not true. See Alphonse. But secondly, the numbers are crazy. And you know what? With a few tweaks to her, we can get the numbers even crazier. But let me be clear, you don't have to muck around with her. You don't have to do another build for her. If you put her in a Horse Emblem team, even if you just give her the standard Hone attack that you have on your Dancer, it's going to work fine. So enjoy yourself. So I wouldn't say that there's any real cheap upgrades to Lyn, but let's go and talk about a few things that if you want to really tinker, here's what's going to happen. You can give her Moonbow. It helps her out a little bit since she's going to end up spending a lot of time doing one hit, being hit back, and then doing another hit. She can't one-tap that many things. So having Moonbow will be nice because it does increase her win ratio by a healthy portion. Of course, as far as an assist skill goes, you should go reposition because I think I'm done here. Although you could go with Ardent Sacrifice and Desperation 3. That combo works rather well. I personally would go reposition in Desperation 3 because when it comes down to it, you're never going to use Desperation in PvP. Well, okay, I'm not going to say never. Maybe in tier 20, you're going to need to be able to block a hit and then do something. But for the most part, Desperation's not as useful in PvP arena. Go ahead, comment and tell me I'm wrong. In PvE, you're going to be able to take one hit and then be in Desperation range, especially at 35 hit points, so you don't need Ardent Sacrifice. Maybe someone else needs that 10 hit points, but Lyn doesn't need to give it away. She could just lose it somewhere on the battlefield. But Desperation's nice because she does get hit a lot in between her two attacks, and with 35 hit points, you need something to keep her around. Desperation really is a defensive measure on this, so that you get to use your Bridelia more than 2 or 3 battles at a Tempest Trial. And while her default kit is completely fine, let me introduce you to a quick build using Brave Bow just to show you what's going on. If you throw on Brave Bow, give her Luna. If you are going to buff her up with horsey buffs later on, you can go ahead and leave Draconic Aura on her. It'll perform just the same when she has the horsey buffs, but if you're not going to buff her, if you're going to have her go by herself, all by herself. Why do I think of so many songs whenever I'm recording? I don't know. Regardless, you can go ahead and give her... You can keep Draconic Aura on her, or you can give her Luna if she's going to be by herself. I left Swift Sparrow 2 on here. Yes, her initial attack without buffs is actually better with Life and Death, and, well, you lose the ability to tank one mage hit. So, you know, that's sort of the give and take there. Leaving Swift Sparrow 2 on there, though, however, means that she has the defenses that... I'm not going to explain the whole thing, but there's a couple units to take advantage of the fact that you took away more hit points and that you have less defense to be able to do a reprisal or something similar onto you, and it's going to get you killed more often than Swift Sparrow is. So if you use horsey buffs, Swift Sparrow is actually the better deal here. I like to put Desperation on this because it keeps her around. It gets rid of the best skill on her, which is not necessarily why I'm saying, hey, you should do this, but, you know, take a look at this. And I left Attack Smoke on there because Attack Smoke is really cool. I like it a lot. If I pull another Lyn, which I don't intend on pulling colorless unless it makes me, that's gonna be a thing. And hey, do me a favor, hit that like button if I give you something to chew on. If you like your info hot and fresh like Grandma's cookies, hit that subscribe button. My name is Deltran. Thank you guys so much. I greatly appreciate all of you, and until next time, take it easy.